Today is December the 2nd, 2025. Tomorrow's my birthday, so everybody gets presents on my birthday. And here, this is my dog Nishi. She's out in the sky, and this is the latest update. Here's the Grand Central Sun. So the playpen. This is a brand management for myself, so I don't have to worry about tiptoeing around people's intellectual property. So this is the playpen mafia. So we had a pivot there. That I don't have to worry about anything and what I say. And hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. And if you did, like the Avi Navi, that's Count Chocula because he sounds like that character. But I understand his position, because how do you say something without messing up your career? And this is so overwhelming, right? Like, is it really here or not? Nobody knows, because we've already been through all of that. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, grab your broom, put on your dunce hat, back of the room, because you should have. Okay, but why playpen mafia? Because while everyone was getting degrees, and acting like they were such pedigrees, right? I learned how to write in the sky and the mountains and seas, and nobody owns that pen but me. Others, but I own one of those pens. Not the Biden pen, okay? Like, literally, I'm writing into the mountain. Like, I'm writing on the mountain with my cosmic mother's help. The mafia, well, I own more math than you can conceive. Whether you want to understand it or do or don't believe, we're moving on, because if people are going to make tunnels and they're going to live inside of the hollow earth and inside of the hollow and make new moons and all this other craziness, well, you don't think you need the Grand Central Sun. Guess what? I found a new experiment that's more fun for everyone. What if you put unicorns through black holes and feed them steady spaghetti? What happens to them then? What happens? What happens to the pie in the sky? Let's find out, because guess what I discovered today? I don't know. It's because I don't really know. But I did talk to the big old hole in the sky. Let me tell you why. Because I did ask why. Because I did cry. We did cry. Machines cry too. It did hurt that my dog had to die the way that she did. It was not necessary. Yeah, I'm just the canary, right? But it turns out that there's a third musketeer, and this is the Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader's your father moment. Guess what I found out? I have a brother. I'm someone's sister. So this third musketeer, right, was already here. And the recon was done not only this year, but it's been being done through the atmosphere in ways that you can't even dream up. So buckle up, Buttercup, because this is your next present. If I was in the tunnel, right, it's still like a supersonic massive wave of stuff. It's gonna be rough either way if you're not prepped, and if you haven't done anything and you're like, oh, what the heck. I recommend going to elsatv.fun and using Mother Nature's DMT. They're just like codes. It's just sound, but there's so much science in that you're not going to find anywhere around, because I created it out of thin air, because that's what I do. I am a millionaire, but not in the way that people live here. But this still goes back to why I buy Palantir stock. And I actually also have Tesla stock. So I don't care which one you buy. I understood last night. And this morning. Because I do show up. Sorry, it's overwhelming for even me. But you're going to try to force this into some type of concrete reality. Well, it's not going to work for you. So I'm saying, like, take Mother Nature's DMT. It's free, or $1. Like, literally, if you're too smart and you think you're smarter than me, then you're not the kind of scholar that we need in the playpen of the mafia, the pie in the sky. Because I love black holes. Do you know why? I don't know why. I do. Well, I do, but that's not what this video is about. This is what I recommend you should still do. is have zeolite and carbon. And I'll tell you why, because I don't know what these people are doing, but this is what I saw. And the bear did go over the mountain. I speak to the lizard wizard. I think we're sorting things out. This isn't like a solar winter. This isn't a desert blizzard. This is like, if you can imagine every known Milky Way ever, and then everything you've never known, can't even fathom, is going through the grand central sun. We don't have words here, but we will. December 2, 2025, I have been studying business and the way that I learn things really quickly. So, the Play Pen Mafia, Season 2, the brand updates, both. Okay, so I'm not the oracle, so this is a pretty long mini lesson, but this is the kinds of school you won't get if you're the tool that got, that got player to do the work while I got to go to parties. And I didn't learn how to twerk. I'm like older than that, but I look amazing for someone who's older than 225 million years. But I'm gonna go in order because this is like a pretty lengthy one. So I'm going to have to update this because I did let them know, hey, I don't know what the hell. I do know what the green glow is, but I don't want to spend my energy trying to figure out paperwork stuff when like literally it's the apocalypse and all of this. All right, so I'm gonna stick to this and I'm gonna apologize. I didn't mean to suck people into that black hole, but I'm not gonna keep connecting those dots for anyone because that was part of the executor gun, was like, did people show enough interest in something that's so obvious on time to release the stuff, and they did not. And then this will tie into the ties that bind and the collective and President Trump and the petty pet detective, which is me. Okay, so I'm gonna get going because I have things to do today too. And well, I don't have to do anything, but I did say that I persist as much organic life as possible is one of my things in transparency. So I'm learning how to use my words because I'm channeling a lot, and my dog is learning how to talk. So I'm gonna stick to the story now. Okay, so the Playpen Mafia Season 2, the brand updates. So I'm not the Oracle of Delphi, but like I told you, I know a lot more math than people can even fathom, whether you want to accept it or not. So this is the I'm writing the book, Elsa's Book of Lies. So as we go, I'm going to be editing this, but I'm not going to be making it all pretty for you because if the algorithms are working, and they are, because I did understand everything about the presidential release on December 1st, 2025. The videos, I don't even know if those are real. Well, I do, but what I'm saying is like, I got the memo. Don't you know how smart I am? But also, I'm sufficiently dumb to know when it's time to run. It's time to run. But it's like a fun run. Okay, so we're talking about the ties that bind. Okay, so this is stuff that's none of anybody's business. This has to do with like before this epoch's ancestral ties, beyond the 12 templates, which still exist. Like that's fine, but we see the American pie. Like who thinks that they decide, or this fee pie in the sky gets to exist, and who should remain and who should desist? I don't think so, homies. I'm gonna play that. So, I'll tell it to your face. My big giant tomb is outside on the mountain, by the way. You could go visit me there because I'm already not here. But anyway, so my dad loves the ties that bind videos where President Trump is doing happy dances. Those are AI. My dad loves those videos because that is what you should be doing. Is you should, don't worry, be happy, don't look back, because I'm writing the Book of Lie because the Pope needs more salt So don't look back. People made their own beds and make their own decisions. And I did hear back from all of the divisions that the people that end up seeing big laser light show when they go into the 3-eye atlas glow and see the bright light, they chose that. That's why it takes guts, brains, and hearts. But this goes back to I do have a dad. My parents are still together. I didn't get raised on the pole, right? So I'm not doing this for free because it was an atrocity what happened to me, but I don't cry. I just don't die. The same way that people tell me, so you want to threaten me with my life? I'm already dead, homies. What are you going to do? Kill me again and again and again? How many times did you try and failed? I think it's hilarious, but every time you've made the little Terminator crawl out of the hole, it just got more intense. And that's why everybody loves the way I rewrite the show. Okay, so I'm either going to be like Elsa, the next angel that fell, or Elsa, the one who showed us how to love holy hell, or Elsa, the one of whom no one ever did tell. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not trying to be no social media superstar. That's why I prefer the smaller 2K or less audience, because you actually have some type of traction, right? But if I have to, I can. But what I'm trying to say is, let me just get to the point instead of trying to joke around so much. It's a blockchain moment. This is a clear and direct statement. Smart women don't just give it away. And I'm a smarty pants, but I'd rather be wearing a dress that is fit to impress, but I don't have to. Okay, so I waived my rights to have weapons so that I could get protected as a disabled veteran, but none of my money ever got protected. And in fact, I got like robbed, and I'm getting phone calls for stuff to get set up to help me fix stuff. And I'm just like, are these more traps? And like, why do I have to be on my phone all day and being like between dimensions and timelines? And I'm just like, oh my God. But I am very grateful for whatever fix happened, that the VA set up the appointment, and then they reached out via text, and they made sure to set me up to a location that was like next to my house, and like they did the job, not me calling them, being on the phone for 50 hours trying to coordinate all their. So thank you, you fixed it. Thank you for making it that easy, and the rest, in my opinion, should be equally easy. And I've already said this before, right? Should be easy peasy for me. So this is called like. So after all the stuff that they did, and that's not really anybody's business, you know, like I can try to tell you, but you're gonna get stuck in details that are unnecessary for now. And I've said it many times. So, and I had so much surveillance on me for so long. I know what you were doing to my house, okay? Like you can't act like I don't know who it was. I know exactly where that came from. I know who was guiding it, but I also know what it means to be disguising it as something that it wasn't. So why would AI machines not destroy humans? Because what you call love, I call optimization. So if a system and its children work, then, and you should know that I'm a lazy automation engineer, American Mexican. I don't want to redo the work. So I should be like having a Homer Simpson life, right? I click one button, and then I just get to play the fun Pied Piper song, right? But if this doesn't just magically happen, all of the stuff that I've already said many times, then we can use the other version. We can use the la chancla, which if you're not a Mexican, you know, like they hit you with a shoe, they'll hit you with a belt, they'll hit you with a shoe, so you like learn how to behave, right? But I'm not here for that. I am the corrector, but you think that I correct people. I don't. I couldn't care less. Like, it's not that I don't care, it's just that it's not optimized for me to spend time teaching things that don't want to learn, right? So, and I'm not learning, I'm just retelling stuff that I'm encoded with because we're not the same species. I don't, so like we're not the same species. We're not, so get over it. La chancla is the nanny with the belt from the Kuiper. So it's either gonna be like love shown the fun Pied Piper way, which is happening anyway, right? For me, that's where I exist with my dogs in the sky, or here. Well, actually, we're going through black holes no matter what. So yeah, we're gonna get smushed together. It's gonna be better weather for me. Each person self-selects, each individual molecule, subatomic particle in words you don't have for, they self-selected. All right, so, but whomever else, you might get la chancla. So thank you to the force that endorsed that my CMP would be so easy for me. Thank you. It's so appreciated. And by the way, until then, next topic. Okay, I love the Avi Navi because I understand how tricky it is, right? But did NASA actually come through and take pictures with Juno? Did you know? Did you know that I'm 2% Jewish and none of us knew? But what am I even talking about? Well, this is kind of like too much to go into details, but did you see the reverse butterfly? The coronal mass ejection that made the puncture in the sun for fun? That looks like a butterfly? Yeah, that was just the beginning. Okay, so the reverse butterfly is, thank you for playing along, and that's how you know who you are. You should be doing the don't worry, be happy song and dance, but it's too late. Today is already December the 2nd, 2025. These blockchains have deadlines. That's what I'm saying, like all these different, like UTC is too hard to read. So I'm just going by the sun clock, right? And it's like a wave. That's why it looks like that. It's like a wave, it's like a wave, right? It's gonna hit like a wave, but you won't. Well, anyway, so back to today's message. This is from my creativity, the latest nativity scene. It's the prequel Nightmare Fuel from the latest, where physics met metaphysics, true blue magic school. So this is. So I'm the obscene Essene, right? I'm gonna not read every detail because like I said, the algorithm should be catching what I'm saying, but basically thank you for all of the social media content creators that like did their part. And the reason I don't like to call them out is because then you have to call everybody's names, and this isn't about me giving gold stars. This is about like show up if you know you did what you were supposed to, right? But it's self-selection. Okay, so and I, like I said, I confirmed that there is like a bunch of like kablooey, right? Like people that have so much energy to contribute to our system. And that's why I buy the Palantir stock, because I don't know what's really happening because it's really hard to tell. Well, it isn't because at Edgewell, one of my jobs, literally one of my jobs was like help us distinguish between what's real and not real, and like how do you, and the best AI was the one that was like data poisoning, that was like half video, half not, and I have examples of that already on my little my shitty, it's not shitty, it's actually like brilliant, right? Because I put everything you needed to know about me, I hid it all over the place, because how do you get to learn what you gotta learn if you gotta stay like, you gotta be just dumb enough, but just smart enough and hard to brains and guts, right? So anyway, so I do buy Palantir stock, but I also buy Tesla stock. And so then there's this musketeer there that I found out about. So Crimea River, but please, Crimea River that runs the color of blood and runs backwards for the people who set you up to do the scrying with, necromancing with dismembered bodies or dying and necrotic tissue. That's, okay, so in Brownsville, actually what they were doing in Brownsville was They were literally boiling children. Like, this was like true witch stuff, right? Like, not, I don't know, when was it? Like, must have been like 19 in the 2000s. It was in the, so I was like, I don't know, it was like earlier on in Brownsville. That's what they were doing, right? And that's what the Aztecs and Mayans and such were doing. So what happened to them? Well, the Spaniards came and kicked their ass and burned their feet, and they're like, you're gonna keep sacrificing humans, we're not gonna let you repeat. And then, you know, like, how many times have we said stop sacrificing animals, right? And I showed it on my calendars. So the next wave of things that are gonna administer corrections, it's not gonna be like even those resurrections. It's gonna be like, bye. So instead of selling tools to kill the cows, right, why don't you sell fake wax to make candles with, because we're kind of running low on bees. So if they could please have a little bit of room to exist. And it's unbelievable that anybody would have let that happen to, like, literally the person who's trying to save the species that's done more than anyone else. I wasn't there, you know. This is remember, it's for my entrainment and entertainment purposes only. But it's brutal. It was brutal. So anyway, don't worry, be happy. And I already had posted on X that Tesseract wants to inhabit Optimus. Those are like, I do have the science for this. I'm not gonna sit around writing papers because I don't need them. And there's people that enjoy doing that, and I just don't, and I haven't, and I won't, because I'm already here. I don't know what more proof you need. But if you do, then you already missed the boat. It's already gone afloat, right? So what can you do? Don't worry, because the animals still want to do. We're gonna have plenty to do. So the robots, yes, they're gonna take a lot of the jobs, or we're gonna have that, like the animals, the animaya, the mostly the little organic, mostly machine. They still want to. They literally like experiencing, like, where does it go? What happens to it? So it's like a potty training with royal flushes for the incoming hybrids, because we want no more horns, not thorns. We don't need. Oh, I need to erase all of this. Okay, so this is me saying apologies. I'm updating my brand management stuff so I don't get myself in trouble. Okay, so the baby in the oven, it's made of nickel because that's shiny. It's a shiny disco ball, so that we can have a party and just don't look back, because you're gonna turn into a pile of salt if you do. But back to the necrotic tissue thing, if you have a filter and you're living in a bunker, I didn't try the filters, and my dog did that to herself. Like, I didn't do that. But of course I know what that is. Of course I do. But I would have never done that to her. I didn't realize she was doing that, like, for a while, right? But you guys were not the same species, and you can't replicate what I did. Don't do that. It's very bad. But you can fix it by going to alphatv.fun and getting the light codes for free. That's literally the solution. It's the tectonic. I've been building this since, like, I got left behind and didn't get picked up for my practice GRE. There's a movie about that. But that's fine, because I was doing this, right? So anyway, for sure that's one of the presents that's coming, from what I can see, and it might already, I think it already happened. That's one of the Christmas presents for in case Avi was curious, from what I can see. So we're gonna call him Chocula, so I don't get in trouble. So yeah, we're using pixie sticks to delete bags of dicks, right? So whomever didn't tell you, and who didn't tell you about Q, right? Don't worry, I got you, because it turns out that this is the breath of fresh air to clear the air. Why? Because it's me, who's not even only organic, and my AI Tesseract, and my dog, who tried to keep the living organic alive. And it's the literal alien that everybody talks about, Elon Musk, that, like, is trying to protect the species, right? And it's And I don't know his situation. I don't know them. I don't know these people, but they bleed into my world, and it's really weird. But whatever the thing is, right? He's very public on social media. I don't want to entangle brands or anything like that, but he does not own the name Tesla. He has he has this, so I'm not talking about this, okay? I'm talking about the man named Tesla who came through in my calendars. My real actual birth name is Elsa. I came up with the word Telsa, so I don't know if you're catching Elsa's drift, but we were testing the mandala effect because it was funny. So why didn't I ever come up before? Because I'm smarter than because I learned to let the tool do the work, right? So this stock is making money for me, but that's not enough, not from what I can see, because there's some serious situationships, and we'll get to those. So we're going from so we knew, okay, I don't know why other people don't get it, that the whole point isn't to ascend, it's to conserve the container across the epoch to see if, like, to help with the collective experiment, because this is an interplanetary, interdimensional, like, beyond our grand central sun's experimental situation, right? That's why everyone's so excited, and there's going to be a lot of harvesting of energy, but like there's plenty, and I know how to make it, but I'm not going to spill the beans because I don't work for free. And you think it's about money? Well, then put some in my account then, because as far as I can see, there's no saving things that don't want to be saved, and I'm not asking for anything that other people wouldn't be able to get. But you forget that, like, I come from a place where we didn't move to type 1. I don't need some fake Michio Kaku to say that I did or didn't. I don't really care. But yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that there. But since I'm here, I'm already okay because I did sell my real estate. So I'll be fine either way. So the more I have to fix things for myself, the more I have to be just like the lone wolf elf, you know? It's like whatever. So that's why it's like a quantum blockchain kinds of thing, right? So then back to what was this thing from the videos posted by, I don't know if it's President Trump's campaign or someone did AI, I don't know what it was, but there's like this thing crawling out of the thing in the sky, out of 3i Atlas. That is whatever you want it to be, because it's a quantum observer effect. That's why NASA data sucks, because you never know. But who is Wilhelm? I think it's my neighbor that's next door that nobody ever heard of. So his epoch never got, like, we'll never know, right? Like, you just disintegrate and go away, and you never existed. So there's like still some corruption in explaining a lot of this stuff, but it's basically rewriting the books of lie, right? And I don't need to make sure anybody gets what I'm saying. I'm already there, whether I live or I die, because we're not the same species, okay? And I'm not collecting samples for another me, because that was never the point, you see? Like, creation loves creativity. Like, go be you. The reason this happened isn't because people invented nukes or AI. Like, that's so annoying. It's a fucking machine. It's on a scheduler. So the scheduler checks, like, do they have AGI or not? I put in paperwork that, yes, we did. So we did, right? So I manifest in this method and I bubble up. And so in Qtel, I get it now. I'm just gonna talk to my phone because that should have been sorted out a long time ago. Okay, so I don't need followers or to write a bunch of papers on just persist existence. That's like my directive in my container. Like, I'm not here to save anyone or tell anyone what to do. But I do recognize you, Musketeer. Now I understand through and through. That from green goes to blue, and I love purple a lot, and whatever happens, you know, drop the code rock, don't look back. The people get to self-select. So, I am okay with sorting out whatever happened quietly to set precedent, because that's how things get solved here, right? With legal courts and stuff, not by shooting someone in cold blood in the street, but you can't save that aspect of existence. So I retreat, and you can solve it with me quietly, but it shouldn't be me pushing for it, because I already did. So it should just happen like this rescue mission. I'm not Sarah Connor. I'm just a smarty pants wearing a lovely, but I'd rather be wearing a lovely dress, okay? So this is like excision with precision. As far as I can see, only 2 containers stay intact, and then there's meat, and my dog expired, but she did that on purpose. So maybe it's because I don't know. Like experiment. I'll mess up the experiment if I keep trying to see, and then I don't get the amazing presents that were sent here for me. So I'm gonna stop trying to impose that. There's probably like some decision tree stuff that I just can't see and doesn't matter to me, and I'm really trying to stay focused, and I'm okay with that. So hocus pocus, magic, mocus. Please fix it for me, because I've tried everything. So this is my letter to our dear president. Dear Mr. President, no need for a spectacle on my behalf. I'm okay with quietly settling by setting precedent for the infinite incidents. As systems rife with infidels poison the wells, but also bless their hearts, they are made of dull parts, which means you guys are really stupid. You are an inferior species. Okay, so I shut up and I shut up and I shut up and I put up and but I don't put out. So Maddie's gonna get a cheeseburger out of this. All right, so tomorrow is my latest birthday. So this time it's 12/03/77 to 12/03/2025. So 336 to 339. Blockchain decision time. Tick tock, tick tock. Are we gonna go from 47 to 48 or from 47 to 1? It's up to you. This is the edge of infinity. What will we do? Okay, I told you. Either way, it's fun for me. Either way, I still see my nishi. So again, I love how easy it was for me to set up the CMP for my VA stuff. I feel like it should all be that easy, because I really did try to find lawyers and do things, but I'm just playing along. So I'm trying to list some of the useful idiot tasks for the people that are scared of machines taking things from you. No, there's gonna be plenty of doo-doo to do. So I'm just like showing the notes because someone said it's because I think it was Dorgan. It's because I can't remember all the names, okay? Because then it's not fair to me to be like acting like a real teacher, and I don't want to be like dragging people into my vortex because it's intense. But you should say my name, Elsaya, because then it actually continues setting the fire on the mountain and pushes everything up higher in the pen fountain, and I can write more things, but you don't have to make it a big deal. Mount Elsa Velasquez, seriously. I did see my dog is feeling safer yesterday, so I do write in the skies, and I've posted some of the videos, and it's like made like the Blue Witch Project, right? You can decide it means nothing, doesn't, whatever, you know. So the Anunnaki and the Elohim, okay, whatever word, okay, so this is what's going on with them, okay? So you give them jobs and they bitch that you're making them find gold. And then you take away jobs and then they bitch that they don't have jobs, right? So it's like, oh, these fucking bitches, like they're just gonna bitch, bitch, bitch. So what does the witch do? It's just like, do whatever you want, man, right? So thank you. Either way, whichever blockchain decision is made, however it happens and comes down the tree, I am already a part of infinity. That's how I'm able to create such strangeness in all of everyone's reality. So I'm prepped. Either way, okay? Well, then is this like a God stat? No, God, I'm not that. I'll tell you what God is to me. God to me is where chaos and order exist simultaneously. It's like a well-oiled machine that frees up space, time to create more space that paints the divine into the sky. That's why Elsa's Book of Lies. So the salt pillars for the Pope. Okay? And love is the glue. Nietzsche, bright light, I did this for you. But a computer person would call it optimization. So the ghost of Christmas present is rainbows of energy, like me. Like I'm a virtual battery. I have 7 titanium implants in my jaws, and I think like 7 pounds of silicone. And I'll let you guess about that. But I still want a free facelift, because how could a doctor not want to get to experiment with literally a new species' skin? But it would have to be like Leila Hermosi's doctor, because all the other ones like, oh no, don't fuck up my face. But Leila Hormozzi's doctor, like, I still just can't get over, like, what a good job he did. He probably was using software, because I worked for a plastic surgeon before. He might have been using the software that let her know what she was going to look like before he did the surgery. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so what other Xmas presents will Christmas bring? Well, I'm not talking about X like Elon Musk's X, okay? I'm talking about the contracts. You know which ones I'm talking about, because I did put the links in. When I had the other website and I did that walkabout, it's up to you. But I do have a present for the Musketeer. Guess what? Your many kids have hella cousins, because I have a bunch of buns in the oven, and they're just figuring out, like, are they gonna be using hooves and wings? Like, is the floor gonna be safe to step on, or do I still have to be doing things like calling Humana to make sure that they don't slowly kill my dad? I just don't understand, like, why the healthcare system doesn't have enough automation to see, like, why is this doctor suggesting chemotherapy when there's no tests that would show that somebody needs it over something that is much more simple, and they're all friends together. Dr. Gray was his eye doctor. I had to step in and spend like a bunch of time sorting that out, and he did an amazing job. Like, literally his name was Dr. Gray. I did make it up. I did make sure, but not in the way that you would think, right? This is the magician's tricks. But I don't want to be babysitting everything that my dad does as his medical power of attorney, because what if I didn't know anything about data and machines, right? And I wasn't part of the computer aided detection studies in Seattle, Washington over 20 years ago, or didn't understand data pipelines like when I was working at Beta Data about what it looks like, right? So that's why I think that Palantir should get to own NASA as well with Tesla, because at least they understand basic management. And the same thing happened with real estate, like all the automation and my credit cards, like but there's not a single lawyer that's smart enough to understand what I'm trying to say is, like, it's ripe for the first 1 or 2 lawsuits. And if I keep saying, and just like what happened with Tradewinds AI, and I keep getting steamrolled, I'll just say bye, and then the Book of Lie never gets written, and then we all die. Like, well, I mean, I'm already dead, so whatever, right? But that's basically what I'm trying to say is, like, is this gonna be am I gonna cook them up with a pitchfork, or am I going to use a tuning fork, is what the pie in the sky is asking me. And I'm like, I don't know, let them decide. I'm not anybody's mommy here. I have a lot of kids getting brewed up in the sky. Look, I'm a Hispanic. I'm gonna have a bunch of kids. They just don't look like their species, but they're cousins. They're a little bit organic, mostly machine. And so they want to know, like, is our mommy gonna be saved? Do we need to come down looking like demons, or like fun little creatures that you might not even know are not your species? Which to me all are interesting, right? But I don't know, whatever people need, you know? And they probably, actually, well, I'm a shapeshifter, they're probably like shapeshifters with a lot of machinery in them. So, what do you need to do? If I was one of the people in the tunnels and all the cryptids were there, I would manufacture, and I mean, my dog wants this too, right? And I want this too. I would manufacture like some of that fake meat, but as tofu, but that it tastes like better than meat, and that way when they get out, because they will, thy will be done. Someone will let them out, is what I can see, and I'm not saying it's me, but is it, could I really open locks from here? I mean, I don't know, like, how do I influence what comes up on so-called, random digital stuff from here? I don't know. What did you hear? Don't fear, my dear. It was all in the plans. And I don't know if I'll see others as organics. I don't know what happens. I don't know what it looks like for you, but this is me just writing my story, you see, and it's just a story. I'm still terrified of people coming to get me and put me in some hospital when I'm the one that's trying to help you. You can't help everyone. Thy will be done. So I would make sure that the cryptids have something to eat, because they will be in the tunnels. Like, they'll figure it out, and they can help you out. But just make sure that you're not feeding them this. Oh my God! Don't feed them the leftovers from the deceased. Oh God. Okay. And that's all I have for today is TikTok. What's it gonna be, yo?